Hello everybody, welcome back to X-Plane 11. Today we're flying the VMAX 767, or Flight Factor 767 if you will. We're flying it from Austin Bergstrom International Airport. We're going north up to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I have the Aerosoft scenery I just bought today, so I figured we would fly into there. And with that said, here is the 767 in all her glory. Very, 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 very amazing airplane to fly in X-Plane 11. I highly recommend it. It takes a little while to get used to the systems, but once you have them down, it's pretty self-explanatory. Outside of that, you can see the awesome paint job on this thing. It looks really, really, really nice. I love the sounds, the attention to detail. Don't mind the floating cars and stuff up there or whatever that is. I have some missing textures ever since I imported this Austin scenery into X-Plane 11. I probably just need to get an X-Plane 11 version of it, I would imagine. Chalks are there. We're waiting on the pushback truck to get here. The gate's there. We're loaded. We're ready to rock and roll. I've got the FMC already programmed, and that should help us, shave down some time, because it's about 35 minutes of pre-flight that I have done before we started recording. So let's go ahead and hop up into the flight deck here. Here she is in all her glory. It's an overcast day in Austin. It was raining earlier. The rain moved out, so that's good for us. You can see the texture work here. Looks very nice. Up close, of course, is not going to look that great, but looks very, very, very good. Entry doors are open. We can go ahead and close that cockpit door, actually. We don't need that hanging open. You can see the whole cabin is modeled. Check that out. There's first class there, and then economy back there. Pretty awesome, right? And then you can walk right back into the flight deck, and you can even hear the sounds change. That's so cool. Oh, yeah, I was going to close the door. That was the whole idea, right? Yep. Close the cockpit door. Back to this, and we can lock it, because right now it's unlocked. There we go. Cockpit door is locked right now. Position lights. I have the overhead panel taken care of. We're on APU power. Everything looks good there. I have the route. We're doing the ELOL 1 departure. That is Walmart, ELOL, Forest Guts, and then we're doing the ILS 35 left approach into Dallas, Fort Worth. Since that is the side we're going to be parking at the gate. I'm not sure if they land or depart on that. It doesn't really matter to me. But we're landing on 35 left today. And as you can see here, there's F-dub, Kilo, Kiss, Boov intersection. They have you go all the way up north and then come back down south again if you're going to land on the southern runways. But we're not, so we're just going to go direct out of Shemp to Tand. And if I put this into plan mode, we can step through the flight plan together so you know what we're doing here. Departure on runway 17 right. Winds are 270 at 4 knots right now here in Austin. It's not worth the taxi all the way down to take off to the north. It's a direct crosswind. It's only 4 knots. Not a big deal. We'll step through this. We go to Walmart intersection. ELOL. We go Forest. There's our top of climb right before Forest there. We zoom out. You can see a little bit better there. Let's actually zoom out a lot. There we go. And then the Guts. Then we'll be at the top of descent. We'll start a descent right after Guts. We'll go to Agads, F-dub, Kilo, Kiss, Boov, Shemp, and then we're going to make that right turn, and we're going to go out to Tandy and join the ILS for runway 35 left approach. That is the idea today. So now you know it. We'll do legs there. I was already on that legs page. Next page is what I meant to do. There we go. Get out of this plan mode. We'll go back to map. And there's our takeoff reference today. We got V1 of 119, VR 126, V2 137 in the MCP panel. We got 137 set there. Auto throttles can be armed. Heading out of here, 170. Let's go ahead and set the MCP up for that. 170 all the way over here to the south. That'll work right there. And let's do an initial altitude of 15,000 so we don't have to mess with it too much here. There we go, 15,000 selected there. Flight directors need to be on. That's important. You can't get any takeoff go-around if you don't have those turned on. And there's a little screw right there you can hit to do the toga, which is pretty cool. I do like that. Auto brakes are set to RTO. Wing flaps today are going to be, flap 5 there. We're doing a derated takeoff today, so derated thrust of 45 degrees Celsius. That'll help. And everything else looks pretty square to go. So here is the iPad you can bring open. I have real limits turned on, but I have real time turned off. That means that the IRS is up there. They won't take 15 minutes to align those. Loading the airplane is a lot quicker, so we don't have to sit here forever for a lot of different things. Mouse wheel, have that turned on to use charts. You can turn these on and off for the yoke down there, as you saw. You can hide the yokes if you like. Autosave options is really cool. It keeps the current setup as default. And let's continue on to the ground here. This is where I did all my pre-flight information here I got from SimBrief. I got chocks and gate config. Let's go ahead and take gate config away. And we're going to call for the pushback truck to come over here and hook up. Once he hooks up, we'll remove those chocks. We'll be ready to get on out of here. Airplane, this is our doors. We're going to close that left front door and prepare for departure. What did maintenance say? Maintenance says everything was good to go. Okay, awesome. Let's go over to the PA. We'll tell everybody welcome aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's a text-to-speech sound, but it works. You can go into the advanced sounds here and turn it up.
If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you.
All right.
Or in an overhead.
How are we looking down there on the ground? We don't have to listen to him the whole time. They're all hooked up down there. Sweet. They can remove those chocks.
Step to sky and flight factor.
All right. Let's go to this. Chocks are removed. PA, doors to auto.
Attention all flight attendants, doors to automatic.
All right, so doors are closed. Beautiful. Panel lights, I'm gonna bring those up a little bit. It's a little dim in here. We'll just turn them up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. It looks good. And we're ready to start. So before we do that, let's do the checklist. We have a little thing called checklister here. We can click on that. And it's really nice to have an electronic checklist when you're doing all this. So we want to do procedure of before start procedure. We've done all the pre-flight and it's all good to go. Before start, flight deck door is locked. We just did that a little bit ago. We'll check that. We're at the CDU display. Takeoff thrust reference. Check. Set and verify that the thrust reference mode is correct. We're at thrust of 45-degree rate takeoff. There it is there. Temperature select. You can move it manually if you want to. We have plus 45 C. I don't know what else they want from us on that. IS bugs. We have the V speed set. There's 137 for V2. That's what Boeing wants in the MCP. We've got V speed there, 119 selected. That looks good to me. We'll check that. IS bugs are good to go. MCP panel, IS Mach selector is checked. Initial heading 170 checked. All that stuff was done all correctly on the overhead. Red anti-collision, so we'll go ahead and turn the beacon on. Recall switch. Hit that. Nothing came up. Trim. We have that set to 0.8. 29% CG, so 0.8. Way up there. I had to put it all the way down. Trim. Yep, that looks good. Checklist complete. Next up is the engine start checklist. So the packs are going to go off. I'm going to let them know on the ground we're good to go up here. And flight deck to ground. Parking brake is released, waiting for the jetway to clear. Once the jetway's clear, we're clear to push out. We'll go tail to your right. All right, cool. So we have the beacon on. We have the packs turned off. So no passengers are getting AC right now. We do have a couple of passenger views today. We've got this awesome wing view here, looking out the back. And we also have a first class passenger seat on the left-hand side, so we can see everything in the front here. Very cool stuff. All right, we're ready to push out. Let's go ahead and go down to the ground here, and let's do that ourselves. So with this pushback module, you just use your rudder pedals and you use your thrust, your throttle. So I'm giving a little bit of throttle there, not very much. That looks pretty good right there. And let's go ahead and start engine number 2. So we're going to go to ground select on that. There it goes. You can hear that thing starting to make some sound. We've got N2 right there, looking good. We want 15%. We're going to add that fuel. So waiting for 15. There's 15. Add the fuel. Pushing away from the jetway now. Look at that. Oh, that's all messed up. I don't know how that got messed up. I didn't even touch anything. And we're pushing out. That engine's coming online. We'll start our turn here in a second. I'm going to go back to this view right here. A little bit more power on the pushback here. We can get a little faster. And yep, looks good. Let's go ahead and start turning it. I wish it would just like stay stationary right there, which you could do with an outside view. You could have a preset of an outside view like that. I probably need to do that in the future. Not using X-Enviro today. We're using the default weather of X-Plane 11, and the biggest reason for that is I'm not, you don't get any, I'm not too happy with it lately. You don't get any weather data, like, for the radar, and this thing has a awesome weather radar, and we're expecting some rain, and there's some pop-up showers around here and storms, so want to be safe today, and X-Enviro doesn't really do that for me lately. Having a good push out here as everything gets online. The engine number 2. Turn a little bit more than that. That looks pretty good right there. So we'll go ahead and line it straight out here. That'll work right there. Come to a stop. And up here in the flight deck, we'll pull the parking brake. All right, you guys are clear to disconnect. We'll be looking for the pin on the left-hand side. All right, so the ground's done down there. They're going to show us the pin, letting us know that they took it out, the bypass pin for the push. And let's start engine number 1. Over to ground it goes. We've got N2 rotation. We've got oil pressure rising. That's what we want to see. Wait for that 15% there. There it is right there, 15%. EGT is rising. That's the exhaust gas temperature. How hot it is behind that engine there as it fires up. That looks pretty good. It's in the yellow. We don't want to hit red or anything like that. Looks good. N2 rotation is nice. Oil pressure is rising. Oil temp looks good. And it clicks off, so the start valve just closed. Did that view get all screwed up still? Nope, it's back to normal now, magically. We'll set the flaps to 5, so you'll get to see them come down off the wing here. I'll just go 2 notches. Click, click. And they should extend. Or the other way, right? Did I do something wrong? Yeah, 5. There they go. They just take a long time to come down out of the wing. There they go. And they're going down. Very nice. All right, engines are stabilized. We can go up here and let's move them over to the gens. You'll see everything flicker here when I do it. There we go. So we're on gen power off the engines. We can turn the APU off. The gen of it off. We can turn the APU itself off. We can take that guy off. We can turn these isolation valves off. We can turn those packs back on so passengers have AC back there. And that looks really good to me. The overhead panel. How are we looking here? We got a APU gen off light. That's what we want. And parking brake, we know that is set. RTO looks good on the auto brakes. We're pretty much ready to taxi. Let's just do the rest of our checklist here. We did all that stuff. We're going to item override those. We've already done it. After the engine stabilized, idle, wait for idle. We've done that. We've done that. We have done all of that. Next checklist. Before taxi, APU selector is off. We've done that. It's in the off position. Just takes a while for it to shut down. We'll hit check on him. Engine anti-ice switches, they're checked. Pack control selectors are set to auto. We just did that. Status display is showing right there. Selected. Flap lever checked. 5 for takeoff. Flight controls right there. So let's do that. We'll go left aileron, neutral, right aileron, neutral. Let's do the elevator forward, neutral, back, neutral. Let's do the rudder as well. Rudder right looks good. Rudder left looks good. Neutral. And that's what you're seeing whenever they push back out of the gate. And you'll see them do this. Down. Right. They're checking the flight control surfaces, making sure they're good to go. So we'll say that's free and correct. Check. Transponder. Let's put that to TARA. Checked. Taxi light. On. Logo light. Set. Looks good to me. Now ready for before takeoff. We'll do that once we get down there. To 17 right here on our right hand side. Let's go ahead and release the parking brake. And taxi this bad boy. A little bit of power to get rolling. Get to see our passenger views here today. Why are we going backwards? It shouldn't be going backwards. Why are you going backwards? Oh, they never disconnected that damn... Oh, they never disconnected. I didn't tell them to disconnect. That's why. That's why they're pushing us back. You got to remember to do that. You have to hit pushback twice. Kind of weird. I know, but that's all right. We'll wait for the pushback to leave so we can taxi. There we go. And we're rolling now. We're good to go. Add that power. I was like, what the hell is happening here? We're going backwards again. What is this doing? What are you doing to us out here? The pushback doesn't want to leave. What the hell is that? Okay. Can you leave us? Like forever? There he goes. My God, man. You're killing us here today. I want him to be completely disappeared before I trust he's gone. All right. Can we even see him out there on the right? Not really. All right, let's go ahead and start rolling. Give a little bit of power here. Make sure we're not going backwards. Looks like we're okay this time. Yeah, there we go. I like the sound of the ambient people and stuff when you're in a passenger seat. It's awesome. You can even hear the bumping of the lights on the ground. We'll make it right out of here. We'll head north from that, and we'll be ready to go on runway 17 right. Beautiful. Yeah, I cut the pre-flight out because it was like I said, 35 to 40 minutes, honestly, to do all the setup of a flight. But that's aviation. It's slow and steady. Make it right on out of here. Looking good. And you'll notice that little thing on the bottom left, we're moving that back and forth. That's the tiller. It's kind of like a little steering wheel. So airplanes on the ground like this that are, you know, have hydraulics the way they are, they use the tiller there on the left to turn the airplane. Now, once we get over 80 knots on our takeoff roll, we won't be using the tiller. We'll be using our feet like you would in a GA airplane for the most part. A bit more power here. As we go around that corner, because sometimes it takes a little bit. This is the first flight I've done recording-wise with the TQ6 throttle quadrant from Virtual Fly and the rudder pedals they sent me. So I'll be doing a video on that soon if you're interested. They're expensive pieces of kit, but they are absolutely amazing. That is for sure. I mean, it's all metal. And I've also noticed my takeoff and my landings with the rudder, the yaw, is so much more precise and smooth than it ever was with the previous stuff. And it really is helpful that you can just add pressure on those. They look a lot like the rudder pedals you see down there, right down there. They look like that. They're big and metal, and you just barely press on each side. It is so nice. So nice. All right, let's taxi down here. Let's have a look outside. You can hear the sound of the engines. I love that. We'll taxi by. We'll do a flyby taxi view here so you can hear it. Great looking airplane. Taxiing down here to 17 right. Have a look at our other side view there. Looks awesome. Looks very nice indeed. We're almost to runway 17 right. So we've got the auto throttles armed. We've got the flight directors turned on so we can go to Togo. When we go to Togo, it'll go to that. There's 137 in the MCP. And we'll be on that 45 degrees Celsius derate takeoff. That's exactly what we want. Now, if we have to reject the takeoff for any reason, we will throw the The spoilers. God, I can't say the right thing today. Spoilers and reversers will come to a stop, and we'll figure out what the problem is, and we'll taxi back and attempt a second takeoff. We have an engine failure or something on takeoff. We'll abort at V1. Anything over V1, if we lose an engine, we'll continue to the skies, and we will do what we need to, try to start the engine, all that, then come back and land on runway 17 right. We'll do a visual approach for runway 17 right, and we won't exceed 3,000 feet. That's pretty much the briefing I'm going to give you guys. Let's do a before takeoff checklist. Taxi light is on right now. Not worried about it. We'll turn that white light on. That's the white anti-collision. That's your strobes. We've got transponder set to TARA, auto brake, RTO, wing landing light switches. We can turn those on. And we can turn these on too if we wanted to. Boom, boom. On. Checklist complete. All right, we didn't do a safety little thing, demonstration. I didn't want to hear that guy the entire time, but we can do a seats for takeoff.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
Because you can do a safety demonstration, but you're hearing like, please enter the buckle into the seat, blah, blah. If we had a longer taxi, I probably would have played it for you, but we have another flight we can do some other time for it, you know? All right, let's get on out of here and let's go to Austin, Texas. Can we do LNAV and VNAV, please? Thank you. So we have that on the flight director, and I know what we're supposed to fly, what profile to fly. Profile. Man, after saying all these different aviation terms, it really gets your, they're tongue twisters sometimes. We're gonna line up on runway 17 right, looking good. What we'll do is we'll advance throttles, let them sit there for just a second, make sure they're stabilized, then we'll engage takeoff, go around, toga. So there we are right there. Add that power up. They sound pretty good there. And takeoff power set. Can verify that's true. Airspeed's alive. There goes the tiller. Bye-bye. We're on rudder power now. 80 knots. Cross check. B1. Rotate.
Don't sink.
Yeah, I'd tell you, don't sink. Positive rate, gear up. Let's get up on that profile here. Wait for 1,000 feet before we start our turn. Good there. All right, we'll bring the flaps in as well, on schedule. Over 1,000 feet, we'll start our turn. Get this thing on course here soon enough. Move this guy all the way over to the right here. Make sure we don't overspeed the airplane in the process. About right there, looks good. We're gonna go to heading, hold switch, and we're gonna auto-pilot it up. Why are you turning to the left? Oh, because you just changed it on me, didn't you? No, I want you to go ahead and select it. There we go. Now go which way I want you to. That'll work. I want to make sure that we were on VNAV on our departure here. So lights are out on the gear. It's in the off position. Flaps are up. Looking good. Look at that. Nice view out the window there as we fly through the clouds. Very cool indeed. We'll see that in a minute. Still climbing. Make another turn to the right here. We're going to get on course before you know it. There we are, breaking through the clouds now. Look at that first class passenger view. Flying out of the clouds. That looks awesome. It's really good. It's 8,300 feet. We'll be at where we need to go before you know it. A little turn to the right here, and we're going to join our LNAV on out of here. It's light turn to the right there. Look at that, flying above the clouds. Looks so nice. X-Plane really did a great job of upgrading their clouds. They look a lot better than they used to. Way better. There's 10,000 feet. So 10,000 feet, landing lights come off. Turn that wing light off as well. Nose gear light should have been off anyway. And let's ding the passengers. Let them know we hit 10,000 feet and they can start their drink service soon enough, or start getting ready for it. And climb and maintain flight level 250. Go LNAV mode. So LNAV is selected. It will intercept and we'll make that left turn. Let's do an after takeoff checklist. Nope, not you. Normal. There we go. After takeoff. Packs are auto. Landing gears up. Lights out. Flaps are up. Altimeter. Need to reset it at 299. That's at 2992 right now. We'll. It doesn't matter. We were at whatever it was at. I think it was like 29 or 89 when I checked it. The weather earlier. I just forgot to set it in there. And we didn't start this thing as usual. The clock. I always forget to do the clock. Always forget to do the clock. Well, that's all right. Whatever. Zoom that in. All right, so we're gonna have some weather around here. Let's go and turn our weather radar on. We can click this guy right there. That turns the weather radar on to test mode. It's just picking up the LNAV now. You saw the bar there. Close that. That looks good right there with the test. And we can put it into weather mode right here. It's in weather mode now. And it's going to be painting out there looking for any thunderstorms, anything we need to know, or any precipitation at all. And we're making that left turn and we're going to be on course here. Let's get a nice flyby view outside. Looking nice on our departure out of Austin. Look at that. That looks amazing. Looks really good. And we are making our turn here now. We're doing a flight level of 310. So let's go ahead and clear ourselves to 310 now. Don't have to mess with that. 310 set. TC's our top of climb. That's what we're going to be at soon enough. Let's go ahead and make it closer to us here by changing that's the range right there, the range selector of the map. You can see TC starting to come in right there, so that'll be a top of climb. We'll make flight level 310 right there based on the computer. All right, we turn some of the glare shield lights down. Don't need all that on. Those yellow lights, look at that. Looks very nice. How about it? What do we got here in the PA? We can do climb.
Ladies and gentlemen, our aircraft continues to climb. We would like to remind you that all flights of our airline are non-smoking. For your safety, the lavatories have been equipped with smoke detectors. Damaging or disconnecting the smoke detector.
You'll notice they put the little shades up and down.
On the overhead panel, you will
sometimes I move seats because they do that.
And a flight attendant.
Let's get up and look for a new seat.
The lavatory for the business class passengers are located in the front of the airplane.
There's a good one right here.
And for the economy class passengers, in the back and center of the airplane. For your safety, when seated, we recommend to keep your seat belts fastened, even when the fasten seat belt sign is off.
There you have it. We told them, please remain seated unless this seatbelt sign is off, and it's not yet. No weather being painted. You can always tilt down too. We can tilt the radar down a couple clicks, and that'll paint it down below a little bit more. But it has a lot to do with your range too. But I'm not seeing anything out there, so that's good. Smooth sailing for us. About turbulence. You seen any turbulence out there? Let's go over to turbulence mode. It's weather plus turbulence. And nothing I can see. Quite smooth indeed. Above 18,000 feet, so I never had to change that to 2992. I wasn't really worried about it. I'll double check what the METAR says for the arrival in Dallas. We're almost to the top of climb here, and once we are, which we're going to be soon at 310, airplane will slow down. Walmart intersection. That's an interesting one. I'm going to the Walmart intersection. Well, good for you. Good for you. Other than that, pretty smooth sailing so far. Look out the windows here. I am working on ortho scenery. I don't have any for Texas yet. I've got most of the Midwest done. I've got Florida done. I've got some of Alaska, some of the Caribbean. But I'm working on making the entire United States with ortho scenery and X-Plane. I have a 5 terabyte hard drive just for it, so it is doable. It's a very doable thing. I love these views. They look so cool, especially this wing view. Whenever I fly commercially, I always love getting in the back on a trailing edge view like this, so you can see the wing in operation. It's always really cool, and it's always quieter back here too, as you can hear it. A little rougher, you know, get more turbulence, but that's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's check the outside. Now that's one thing they're working on is the contrails. They're too dark for whatever reason. So they are working on that. We're at the top of climb here. You can hear the engines pulling back now. Look how beautiful that is. You can zoom way out and then zoom in for a nice air-to-air shot like the American Airlines commercials. Like American Airlines. Look how beautiful that is. Looks really good. Shaders are doing something kind of weird with all that going on down there. We're at flight level 310. We hit our top of climb. We're gonna let them know they can move about the cabin all they want. Let them know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Not expecting any turbulence or anything. Looks like a really nice flight up here to Dallas today.
Keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated.
This short cruise.
Turn on your electronic devices, such as calculators, CD players, and laptop computers.
I love that they say calculators. What year is it? Drinks and light meal today.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and
The flight
gentlemen.
attendants will be passing around the cabin to offer you cold drinks, as well as a light meal. Please make sure your seats are in an upright position and prepare your folding trays.
Yeah, he seems a little robotic, eh? Just a little bit. Not too much. But yeah, it's not a very long flight. We can start getting set up for our arrival. Let's do that, actually. Let's go over here and look at the second FMC. Had a hiccup there. And you can go to the index page. We want the approach page. There it is there. Now, it keeps doing this. It keeps giving me Austin's information. I don't know why it's doing that. It shouldn't be. It should not be. We know our VREF is going to be 127 at 30 for flaps. Let's look up the Austin information. Let's go to, or not Austin, but Dallas. Here's my sim brief page. This is all the information I needed for my fuel and all that stuff. METAR here in Dallas showing 020 at 7 knots, so it's out of the north. 10 statute miles of visibility broken, 4,100 broken, 25,000 feet. Out there, 299er3. That looks good. We need ILS 35 right, 35 left approach. Yeah, ILS 35 left approach. Let's do that. KDFW ILS 35 left. Get a little plate here sometimes. There it is right there. Can we view that image? It's 111.35. Okay. 111.35, 356 or something like that. Yeah. But 111.35. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Almost the top of descent here soon enough. So let's in the MCP put that down to 15,000 feet, so she'll start our descent. On schedule. I already forgot what the damn thing was. 111.35. So you can't set your ILS frequencies here. These are for the VORs. I made that mistake a long time ago. You have to go down here and then put 111.35 in right here. And then that's 358, I think. I think it was 358. It looked like it was 358. Hard to say. Looks like a 6. Really hard to say on that one. Is there a better one here I can look at? Yeah, it's a 6. Cool. So we'll put 356 in there. So now the ILS is set up for runway 35 left. Oh, we were 35 right we were looking at, right? I went 35 left. What am I doing? That's left. That's right, though. Oh, I was You see that? 35 left is 111.35. 356. Okay. The other one was 35 right. I was like, what are you doing to me? So it's the same. Same. Unless it's any different. Let's just double check. That's center. I want the left one, though. Actually, I could make this bigger. Yep, 3,000 at Dallin, so there's Tand right there. 6,000 at Tand. Yep, that makes sense to me. We're already in our descent. Look at that. Didn't take long, did it? Told you. Starting our descent. Very short flight today, but no big deal about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind you that use of all electronic devices.
We're going to have to add some drag on our arrival because it's going to be real quick.
Thank you.
So we're going to get ready to do that. We're just going to click this thing 2 times there. It's going to put us into drag mode. So what that means is we're going to have the spoilers out on the wings like that, open. It's going to assist with slowing the airplane down on our descent. He closed his shade. See how they just randomly open and close shades back there? Fussy passengers, I suppose. Zoom out a little bit here and look at our arrival. That looks pretty good right there. We're painting the ground there. A little bit of possible rain off to the right there, but it could be just hitting the ground and picking up terrain. That's a negative there. You get a negative. Put it at 0, actually. Pop. Yeah, plus 0 is where I want it, right there. Looks good. 26,000 feet, still in our descent. And we're descending down to a total of 6,000 feet, actually. So let's put this down to 10,000 initially. That looks good there. And as we said before, altimeter 2993. So once we cross through 18,000, we'll change it over to 2993. Arrival's looking pretty good right now. No complaints. Such a good looking plane, the 767. Always enjoyed it. Look how pretty that thing is. All right, our descent's still looking pretty good. 296 knots right now. We don't have to slow down for a while. And as you can see right there, the VNAV is saying we'll be at 290 knots right there at F-dub. Coming up, and then we slow down to 280 at Boov, and then Shemp at 280 knots. Then you can see how it slows down to 240 because we're gonna be below 10,000 feet. 170 at Bego, so that looks pretty good. Our VREF is gonna be 127 plus 5, so 132 is what we'll put in the MCP on final. There's now it picked up. We were too close to Austin. See, now it picked up the ILS correctly. 135 left because it's in there. See? Didn't have to have the plate. It had it already in there for us. I think I just got a little impatient with it. It's no big deal. So keeping that drag out, it's going to help slow the airplane out tremendously. This is a pretty fast-paced arrival because we're not going way north. I think the most technical part of the flight was just the departure out of Austin, making the right turn. Making sure we weren't speeding and, you know, damaging flaps or anything like that. Now, the VNAV on this airplane, once you get closer to the actual ILS, you have to take it yourself. If you don't, they're going to kill you. I mean, look, tanned intersection at 6,000 feet, 240 knots. No way, Jose, do I want to be going that fast. You want to intercept an ILS at like 180 knots, not 240. And in my experience with this airplane, it's slippery. It doesn't want to slow down easy, so you got to be ahead of the game. Especially when VNAV's like giving you a 2,000 foot per minute, you know, descent rate. That always does it. What else we got here for PA? We've got before landing. Let's go ahead and give him a before landing.
Ladies and
Maybe
gentlemen,
landing soon enough.
in a few minutes our aircraft will land at the destination airport. For your safety, we ask you to remain seated until the aircraft comes to a complete stop and the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. When preparing to depart,
let's see what those tops were. They were at broken 4,100.
Attention international travelers, if you are continuing your flight, follow the signs to international transit area.
There you have it. Well, no international, I don't believe, today, unless we have some people flying in from Mexico. Well, they would have had to clear customs anyway, so I doubt that's the case. I doubt it's the case. 18,500 feet. At 18,000, we'll reset our altimeter to the local altimeter setting at 29903 for Dallas. And we're looking okay here. Winds are 30215 there. Just right off the left side of us. Winds aloft are always different than your surface winds. So, I mean, not always, but usually it is. There's 18,000 feet. Let's put this guy on 29903. I'll show you a cool little thing you can do. 29903. And you can hit this button, and that automatically sets this one over there to 2993 as well. Standby altimeter set. Auto brakes. We're going to do auto brakes of 2 for our arrival. Might be checklist time. Let's see here. Checklist. Done all that stuff. Next, descent. Pressurization. We want landing altitude for Dallas, which is going to be what? Good question. Let's Google it. Field elevation. Hit all. There we go. There's your test. 607 feet. Cool. So 600 for that. We'll do 610. Auto 2 looks good there. Pressurization is checked and set for landing. Recall. I'll hit that button. Check. Auto brakes 2 set. VREF. We just talked about it. 127 plus 5 flaps 30. Approach briefing. ILS runway 35 left approach. We're going to slow the airplane down before we get to Tandy. If we go miss, we'll climb to 3,000 feet and we'll head out to the hold if we have to. But in this case, we don't have to really hold. We'll just climb to 3,000 feet. We'll make a left-hand turn, left downwind, and shoot the approach again. Check. Checklist complete. Approach. Altimeters are checked. 29903 across the board. Nav aids are set. ILS 35 left approach. 111.35 in the box. That looks nice. And landing, we're good to go here for now. Almost a move intersection here. Before you know it, we'll be making that right turn and we'll be hitting Shimp, and then it's like a big jump from Shimp to Tand. About 30 miles between those two. It'll be cool to have a passenger view like this as we go through the clouds. We'll have to do that. And he still has his... he probably has his thing down now, so we can get up and move seats again. People don't like to, they don't like the windows open. Oh, that's strange up there, isn't it? Yeah. Like bleeding through the cockpit door. Here we go. Now we got our wing view there again. You get a good sense of speed there off the clouds. That's pretty cool. Okay, airplane is slowing down, 13,000 feet, still descending. We're going to be going down to 6,010, so let's go ahead and set the MCP to 6,000 feet. That looks good. And we can zoom in on this guy a little bit more so we can see what we're doing. There it is out there. Let's rubber boove. Over boove, and then we're going to hit shimp and make that right turn. Or shimp. I don't know whatever you call it. Here's the turn. I love it from this view right here. Let's do it from the outside view, actually. That looks awesome, too. The bank like that. Oh, okay. What's that about? That's weird. Never seen that before. That's a visual glitch for sure. Okay, interesting. 12,000 feet. Yep, there's those clouds up there, up to 25 in this area. Looking good. 11,000 feet. We're slowing the airplane to 280 like it's supposed to be 240 at tan, so we're going to manually slow the airplane down here. I'm going to go to speed mode on the VNav. Which I might just turn off the auto throttles and just handle them ourselves. But we can punch in a different number, actually. Let's try doing that. I want them to be tanned. Not 240 knots. I mean, hell no. Let's do 180 at 6,000. 180, 6,000 feet. Oh, I didn't like that. It was a plus. It was a minus instead of the dash. So let's delete that. Let's try 180 knots at 6,000 feet. See if it likes that. There we go. 180 looks much better, and it's slowing the airplane down now. Drag required. We're doing it. Put a little bit more out there for you. Told you. It takes a little bit of drag to get this baby in. Slippery airplane. At least we're slowing down 180 knots now. I won't be screaming in here at 240 and trying to make that turn for the ILS. That's never fun. Yeah, we know drag required. Clear the message. We have drag out there. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. Speed brakes in that position. Something that's very strange is that, you know, you want the speed brakes to be armed on your landing phase, and it'll give you a warning message that the speed brakes are deployed when you have it in the armed position. I think that's a bug with the airplane. I'm not really sure. All right, we're slowing through 9,200 feet here. We're looking good here. 238 knots, below 10,000 feet. And the airplane's going to slow to 180 knots at tan, so that's good news. It just remembered that it was supposed to be at 240 before, so we probably should have slowed it down to like 210. But I think we'll be okay on this approach. I honestly do. We're getting close, though. Okay, it's adding that power. We got the glide slope coming into play here. Okay, you gotta slow down for us to 180, bud. 190. I love how it says 190 right there. All right, it's doing okay. 7,400. We'll be busting through the clouds before you know it here soon enough. Below 10,000 feet, we should have had our landing lights on. Oops. Wing light, come on for safety. Why not? Let people know we're landing. If there's anything else we need to do. Nope, it's good. All right, we got the localizer armed there. There's the glide slope. 1 to go to 6,000 feet at Tand. And we'll make that perfectly fine, it looks like. In fact, we can go ahead and arm the localizer by clicking loc. There it goes. The airplane's at 240 knots. It's going to slow down to 180 once we get to Tand here. Hopefully it does it soon. I'll be looking there. Looking good. Our descent page there. There it goes. 180 at 76.65. That looks good. Slowing the airplane down before we get to Tand. That's exactly what I wanted to see. So we aren't killing ourselves in the process here. And also, we'll add our first setting of flap here. We're going to be going through the clouds on this ILS. That's why we're shooting the ILS approach. Look at this from the wing view, though. That looks awesome. You get a real sense of speed from these views. That's how fast you're actually out here going. All right, looking good there. Localizer is alive, it looks like. Glide slope will be for approach when we hit APP. So drag required. We're giving her drag, man. Giving her all she's got, Captain. There we go. Go ahead and add our flaps. Flaps 5. They're coming down now, nice and easy. And we can put those away. Speed brakes, we'll put those away. There we go. And we got armed speed brakes. We're starting our turn now. Picking up the localizer. When we get to the guy here, we're in speed mode, so we're going to slow this thing down. 133. That looks good right there. Once we grab this glide slope, we're going to go gear down, and we're going to arm the approach. And we can actually arm the approach now. So arm the approach. Approach armed. Glide slope alive. We got it right there. G/S. Good thing we're shooting an ILS. It's pretty murky right there in that cloud. All right, gear down. Gear's coming down. So we're all good. Lights are good. Let them know twice. 1 to go. Next setting the flap. Look at this. Very cool. I'll be looking over there on that wing view. He shut the damn shade on us again. That jackass. What do we got here? Speed brake extend. See what I'm talking about? It always does that whenever you arm it. But if you look here, if we look straight down, it's in the arm position. It's just a bug, I guess. Okay, right there. 133 is selected. Next setting of flap. Flaps 30. Flaps 30 set. VREF 133. We're looking good. Not bad at all. Bego at 2,300. Yep. Don't have the field in sight yet, but it's underneath those clouds. Just monitoring the airplane here. Referencing this again. 30 flap. Why is flaps 35? I think that's another bug. Look at that. 126 for 30. 131. I don't know about that. Yeah, well, I guess that's right. Yeah, it would be a lower speed. It's more flap. Well, it just seems a little strange. 133, that's good for me. Looking good. Look at that bad boy. And what's really cool about the 767 is the bogies of the wheels there, they tilt forward. And the reason why they did that was because they couldn't get the gear to fit up in the airplane any other way. The old-fashioned way of the bogies being tilted back like that, nope, couldn't be done. So they had to tilt them forward so they would fit in the gear well. Speed brake extended. No, it's not. Stop it. Let me give it a little bit more power in this. About 135. Busting through the clouds now. Starting to see it. Look at that. That looks awesome. And the reason why I double dinged the no smoking sign there was to let them know we were landing. All right, we're verified on runway 35 left, looking good. The plan of action for taxis, we're going to go make that left turn and then go back around there. And we're going to park on that side over there. DRF's looking good. Glide slope's perfect. Localizer's perfect. You can't ask for anything else, man. This speed brake extension warning is annoying, I will tell you that. You turn the weather radar off. No need for that anymore. Turn that off, actually. Okay. Yeah, we know speed brakes. We know. And cancel that. No need for that nonsense. All right, looking good still. Got my throttles ready to go here for whenever we come off of auto. We're gonna land the airplane ourselves. Looking really good and smooth here. Beautiful VREF, that's what I want to see. I'm gonna turn the auto throttles off before we do anything else so I can stabilize it. Let's go ahead and do that now. Pull them back. There we go. And disengage the autopilot. There we go. I have control of the airplane. Bring that power back up. Still getting used to these throttles because where the detent is back for like your reverse thrust, it's part of the thrust of the engines. Get a good sense of just how good the auto flight system is on this airplane. We're a tad high. We'll just bring it down a little bit here. It's all about smooth movements on that. Add a little bit of power right there. Turn that nose gear light on for the landing light on the nose gear. Looking mighty fine here. Got the thrust set pretty much right where I want it. We're on that glide slope.
1,000.
1,000. Just slightly off. We're going to get a little bit more to the right there because of that wind is 6 knots just off our right nose. Pushing us over. Looking good on the glide slope. Up here, we can see how it's starting to go up. And just be ready for it. You got to be real smooth on it. That's one thing I really love about this Yoko yoke. You can be so smooth. It doesn't overcorrect at all.
500.
500. Short final here. Look at that beautiful Dallas scenery. Looks great. DFW. Minimums, we've got the runway in sight. We're landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we are down. Apply that nose wheel down like this. Beautiful. Reverse thrust comes out. Beautiful landing on runway 35 left. And we decel down to 60 knots. We didn't make that high-speed run turn off, but that's okay. Here it is right there. We can clear those and bring the spoilers forward in a second. Let's keep them out for now. We'll make this next turn here. We'll disarm the auto brakes. We can continue to turn here out to the left. There goes the spoilers back up forward. And we can start the APU. And we'll watch that replay of the landing, and we'll also watch it from the wing view as well. I'll get us a better wing view for that left side so it doesn't look so bad. As we clear the runway, we can turn off the strobe lights and all that, but we're going to do that in a second. We're going to cross over this line here, and then we're going to watch the replays together. How about that? Just a fantastic model. Like, I really, really love this product. It has a couple glitches, a couple weird things, but it could be just like, you know, Boeing quirks that I just, you know, from jumping from plane to plane, you kind of lose that inside of what exactly it all entails. Well, let's go ahead and come to a stop here. And we'll go into replay mode. Let's watch that landing together, shall we? A bit more than that. There we go, right there. Looks good. And we'll do a nice view from the ground over here. This is cool. In the grass. In the grass will work fine. Okay, so that's one thing. That's why I didn't want to bring the spoilers all the way forward. It doesn't show them deploy on the replay, but you saw we actually did use the wing spoilers, so I don't. That's something in the model that it doesn't like. Strangely enough, let's watch from the wing view of our landing. Let's just watch this from the other side where you can see the terminal and all that, where the scenery is, because that's cool. That's real cool stuff. There we go, right there. Have a look at that. Yeah, I don't know why the wing spoilers don't open on the replay. That's kind of stupid. That was a smooth landing, though. Yeah, because we opened the spoilers right there, and they were fine. But it's going to be stupid. That's all right. Oh, and they put the shade down on us. That's cool. Real nice. Yeah, so you can see the spoilers are open there. They're just not showing visually. Strange, strange, strange. And then we pulled off the runway down here. It's right here, actually. The VMAX 767. Love it. It's a fantastic airplane. Really is. Oh, it's by the Flight Factor guys. They make the 757 as well. I don't know why they chose to do the rotating beacons on this airplane, though. Because 767s, for the most part, have the strobe style beacon lights. More so than that. And we get to come to a complete stop up here, and let's taxi it in and shut her down. Let's get these passengers to their gate today in one piece. That's such a great looking airplane. God, I love it. Even right there, it looks really nice. Come to a stop, buddy. Come to a stop. Wonderful. And we can go ahead and stop that. We're gonna continue on. Put the replay mode away. And let's taxi into the gate. Lane lights can be cleared. Keep that nose gear off. We'll turn this one on. No need for all that, you know. You see out here. Taxi lights. Bring up our flaps. I love the little, you notice here, the reflections. If I put the flap lever moving it, see how it moves in the reflection? Same thing with the throttles, you'll see them move as well. Pretty nice attention to detail there. That's really neat. We're gonna go up and over to the left, where our taxiway is. So that'll be neat as well. Okay, so that's all the way up. And spoilers are stowed. Let's do a after landing checklist. That's just the hide. Okay, it's the shutdown one. Never mind. But since the APU will be on bus, we'll get to take that. Make the left here. We'll put the APU on Jim. APU can go on there. A little more power here. A little more power on that. Like I said, this 767 takes a little bit more power to make these turns. Oh, that is too cool. We'll be crossing over the road here. That's why I wanted to land on runway 35 left so we could do this. Otherwise, you know, we would have landed on the left side of the airport and we would have been closer to our gate, sure, but we wouldn't have been able to do this fun stuff. And this is what it's all about. Did you open your window back up? Yeah, you did, finally. Very nice. On up we go. Yeah, it doesn't take too much more power to get up it either. Look at that. That is so cool. You see it from the ground here. Oh, let's do this. That's what we need to do. No, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing here. Trying to get a cool view from the outside view as we crossed over. Oh well. I failed at that. Nearly ran off the damn taxiway trying. Alright, down we go this way. I love how the wing bounces around. That's so cool. And we're going to be parking right up here on the left. Probably gate 20, I think, is where we're going. And it should be right there on the corner. Gate 20. More power than that, buddy. And down we are off of that bridge. Start our turn here. And let's do a fun taxiing as the marshaller. I think we're going to gate 20 over here. Which one's 20? Is it that one right there? That's B35. Well, maybe it's not 20. Yeah, we'll go here to 35. That looks like a cool one to take. Let's go turn our taxi lights off here for these guys. We're not blinding the ground crew. And we'll do this. There we go, right there. That looks cool. That way. And come to a stop. Perfect. All right, let's go. Pull the parking brake. Shut the engines down. Let them know they can get off the airplane. Okay, or not do that. Oh, we just killed it. Oh, we never went to... Why didn't it go to APU power? That's strange. I've literally never had to do that with me before. The APU not start? Is that the problem? I'm sorry, folks. No problem here. APU didn't want to seem to fire up. For whatever reason. I hear it now. I could have swore we switched the APU to start on our taxi out. Off the runway, but... Perhaps I am mistaken. That's right, we'll get that going. Here, let's get the... There, it's on run mode there. Okay, how are you doing now? We get some external power in the meantime. No external power available. Just gotta wait for the APU to get online. Come on, you can do it. There it went. Right like that. It's like, what the hell happened there? All right, parking brake is set. Fuel controls. Let's do this after shutdown here. Hydraulic panel is set. Let's shut those off. Fuel pumps off. Flaps up, lights out. Parking brake set. Fuel control switches are cut off. Weather radar is off. And secure. Emergency lights, getting all that stuff. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to leave it as is for another flight. Well, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of X-Plane 11. We still have lights on. We probably need to turn those off, don't we? Wing light and the red light and strobe and all that. You always forget something. All the things you have to remember. But that's going to do it for this episode of X-Plane 11. Our flight from Austin to Dallas today. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.